see your faces because you don't get to see people's teams, right? Like Brie and I talk, but it's fun to see your beautiful faces and kind of feel your energy and just be here. I feel honored to be in this space, truly. So, you guys, how many of you have heard my story before? My health story? Raise your hand. I'm going to ask you to involve yourself because I got to know where we're at so we can like go in the right direction. Kind of. Okay. I think, how many of you love stories? Like when someone says they're going to tell me a story, I'm like, okay, tell me, right? Okay, so I feel like I would love to share with you a little bit about my plexus story because I feel like that is some of the most inspiring calls that I'm ever on, is when I kind of hear the real story behind the people and what they've been through, what they faced, their triumphs, their struggles. Do you guys learn from that? Like for me, I learned so much from hearing people's stories, and I'm always like, "Ooh, tell me your story." Even when I get my nails done, look how cute I got my nails done today. Aren't they so fun? But I always am like, "Okay, tell me stories. What have you been up to? What's the latest? I want to hear all your stories." So I'll share with you a little bit about my plexus experience, and my hope and my intention, honestly, is that I get to touch your heart a little bit. I want to invoke and spark. I want to reach in there to your beautiful heart and just like perk it up a little bit. So I hope that you relate with what I share. I hope you see yourself in what I'm going to share. But most of all, I'm always wanting to turn people to their intuition and to their heart. I hope that something speaks to you and that you get a little answer to maybe something that's on your heart, maybe something that's troubling you, or maybe something that you're looking for some inspiration on, or a way to get unstuck. Maybe you're feeling stuck and you're looking for a way to get unstuck. I really hope and intend to bring that tonight so that you can leave this call feeling just a little bit more inspired, a little bit more real, like a human, and we're in this together. Because newsflash, we are all in this together. It doesn't matter what level or rank you are. You and I are so much more alike than we are different. Do you believe that? Even though I'm just meeting you, I love you. I can honestly say, I look at your beautiful faces and I'm like, I love you. I wish I could sit with you on a cozy couch with a blanket on us and our feet all snuggled up. And I just want to hear your story. And I want to look in your beautiful eyes and just like feel you. So just know that we are so much more alike than we are different. And I really want you to look for that as I share my story and my experience. And again, I hope that your intuition kind of perks up and that you're able to trust that intuition and lean into that intuition. Because I truly believe that we have our own answers. We know our own answers. I'm a God girl, but I also believe in, and I'll say, and that we are empowered with choice. And so much more is within our power than we think it is. And that we're not victims to our circumstances. I believe that we are gifted with this power of choice that I want to teach people how to nail. And I have chills head to toe. Every time I talk about that, I get chills about how there is a plan for us. I believe that our intuition is here to help us and that we're guided by the universe, by God, whatever you believe in. And I also know that we are gifted with choice and accountability, and that tool is so much more powerful, and that we are barely scratching the surface when it comes to nailing our choice and what's within our power. So that's my intention. That's my hope as you listen to what I'm going to share with you. And I do want to hear from you in the chat. If you relate, or if there's something that stands out to you, please tell me, because I have some ideas of things I'd like to share, but I do always like to be guided and directed by what you want to hear the most and what is, on your mind and heart. And before I start, I would love to know in the chat, if you could say there's one thing that's just going super well right now in your business, and then one thing that you feel like is kind of holding you back, or that you're hung up on, or a thought or a situation or something that you're facing that you feel like is like the big domino that you would love to just topple over so you can move forward. So if everybody listening I would love to see that, because that will help me kind of know which parts of my story to lean into and which parts you want to hear from the most. So what's going really well? And number 2 is, what do you feel like you deserve to have more support with that you feel like might be holding you back? Okay, time balance. Guess what? We just did a team call today all about this. Support from my team. Really good. While making connections, building relationships. I love it. Follow up is going well. Stuck in reaching out. Yes. And posting stories. Love these questions and prompts. Yes. Okay. So as we're talking, if you think of something, please put it in the chat so that I can kind of lean into those different parts, because I really want to give you what you came for. I want you to leave with just a little spark in that intuition of yours. Reaching out, reaching out. Interesting. Lots of people feeling stuck in reaching out. I'm going to put a star around that one because that is coming up a lot here. Reaching out. Okay, that's so good. I have parts of my story that I'd love to share that might serve you with that. Closing the sale, finally raking up. Yay, Terry, but reach outs. Again, interesting. Follow up if harder, posting going well, being authentic and giving service, but bold in closing, stuck in reaching out. Got it. Okay, people make plans and then don't follow through with ordering and ghost me. Interesting. Yep, get it. Totally get it. You're a human. And guess what? I'm a human too. We all have these things. We all have things that are going well and things that maybe we get to work on, or things that feel like we're about up against a breakthrough. Okay, ghosting is a huge problem. Interesting. By ghosting, do you mean people will be talking to you and then all of a sudden they just don't respond? Is that what you mean by ghosting? Okay, if there's more clarity, I'm going to write that down too, because I have different definitions that maybe will serve you for those things. So interesting. Okay, yes, people read and then they just don't respond. Carving out the time to reach out. Okay. Getting more runners, being a better leader. Yes, okay. Super helpful. Okay, you guys, so here, let's get into this. Are you guys ready? I'm ready. If I had sleeves, I would be rolling them up right now. So my journey, I've been on these products and sharing just over 5 years, you guys. Okay. Prior to Plexus, my health situation, I have Hashimoto's. Me and Bree have similar stories. I have Hashimoto's. I went to a functional medicine doctor. I was looking for solutions, but I was miserable. Have you guys seen my before pictures before Plexus? Anyone? No? Interesting. This is fun. Okay. So I was like 75 pounds heavier than this, couldn't lose weight, super miserable, depressed and anxious, on an antidepressant, on a really strict diet with a functional medicine doctor, just really struggling, you guys. So the takeaway from my part of the story here is that if you have people who are like, turn their nose up at Plexus because they're those people that go to functional medicine doctor, you can take a breath and rest assured that these products work for everyone when they give it enough time, consistency, and tweaking. Did you know that? Don't ever, ever, ever lose confidence in the power of these amazing products. Okay. So I was really skeptical when I went into Plexus, but I was desperate. I was not showing up in my life. I have 4 beautiful kids. I did hair. I had a salon in my basement. I had this beautiful, thriving clientele. And I was the girl that was just like, keeping doing my life. But in the quiet corners of my heart, I was miserable. I was struggling, looking for solutions and really just feeling desperate because what I was doing wasn't working. Long story short, I learned about the products. And it took about 90 days of someone talking to me, and I totally ghosted the person talking to me, 100%. So tip number 1, if people are ghosting you, I'm going to give you a new phrase for that. They have just not responded yet. Okay, can you guys write that down? It's not that they're ghosting you. They just haven't responded yet. They might have busy life. Things might be crazy. So we don't even need to label it because ghosting feels lonely, doesn't it? Doesn't ghosting make you feel lonely? We don't even need to call it that, do we? We just need to call it, they just haven't responded yet. Next, keep moving forward. Like we don't need to give it our focus and our time and our energy. Because I ghosted the person that talked to me, ghosted, if that's what you want to call it, for a long time. I was like, you're so cute. Go away with your products. I'm not interested, right? Bottom line, I started the products. They rocked my world. These products work. I've lost and maintained 75 pounds of weight loss. I have energy all day and I was depleted. My thyroid numbers, I'm on 1/3 the dose I used to be on, 1/3 of what I used to be on. Off my antidepressant. I feel freaking fantastic. My immune system's strong. I was the girl that was sick all the time. These products work. Like everyone right now, take a breath, straighten your spine, shoulders back. What you have is a blessing. So when you're scared about reaching out, take a breath, straighten that spine of yours. You have something that blesses lives. And when your focus is there, it makes it easier to reach out. Are you with me? When your focus is, I'm looking for the Brie Coolidge and the Christy Jacks and the Nikkis and the Michelles and the Victorias and the Michelles and the Kayleys and the Angelines. I'm looking for the people that are looking for me. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to cast my net big and wide. and I'm going to see who's ready for it. Someone that I'll save that for a minute. I'm going to write that down so I can share that, because I want to talk to you about a reach out story that might bring you some little feels. So you guys, when you're reaching out, don't overthink it. People, some will, some won't. Someone's waiting. Next. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. Next. Right? I was someone that was desperate, but I was skeptical. Anyway, it took me some time to get results on the products, you guys. So another takeaway, thyroid people with autoimmune, they take longer to get results. They just do. I even look at my pictures 2 years into my journey and I was like, that's so cute. Yes, the parable of the sower, absolutely. But if we never plant the seed, will we ever have anything to sow, right? We got to just throw those seeds out. That's step one. But you guys, what I look at my pictures of 2 years into my journey and I'm like, what if I would have stopped there? Because I thought, oh, I feel so good. I'm a different person than I was 3 years ago, right? Our results continue to compound. But if you're working with thyroid people that are saying, oh, I don't know if this works for me, please know that the products work. They really do. It takes time, consistency, and tweaking your regimen. That's what I tell people. It's the 3 keys: time, consistency, and tweaking, and you'll get results if people are ready for it and they're ready to stick with it. Okay. So I got amazing results and I couldn't keep it to myself anymore. I wanted nothing to do with this business. Raise your hand if you wanted nothing to do with the business when you started. 0. No. I was like, that's really cute. Emily Gibson, peace out. Stop messaging me. I'm never going to do this. I know I would kill it, but I don't want to. She kept saying, you'd be so good at this. I'm like, I know, but I don't want to do it. Right. I love to share things that work for me. So I knew I could kill it if I wanted to, but I was like, you guys are so cute, but I'm not doing this. I have do hair. I got 4 kids. I'm good. Right. I am good, but I wasn't good. Here's what our finances were before Plexus. Okay. My husband is hot and he is a hard worker. He's got his shiz together. He had a good job in sales. He was killing it, in quotes, because we had a ton of debt, you guys. I was doing hair 2 days a week. I was wearing myself out doing so many clients trying to catch us up, right? But life happened. How many of you know that life just keeps on lifing? You know that? How many of you experience life just keeps lifing? So we found ourselves in a lot of debt because life lifed. We didn't like shop big. I was like the Target clearance girl, but life kept lifing and we were drowning in debt. And I found that those decisions that debt was really having an impact on my marriage and my peace level and my joy level in my life. We wanted to go do fun things, but we always had to look at our bank account and it was like this, wah, wah, wah. Nope, can't do that because look at our bank account. I remember actually getting Samsung phones for Christmas because we got like a $500 Target gift card so we could buy Christmas. I'm serious. We did weird stuff to try to come up with extra money because we didn't want to be in debt, but we were drowning in debt. And I'm going to get real personal with you. My marriage was a struggle. My husband and I were not doing well. My health was a mess. His health was a mess. He dealt with some addiction things that were being made worse by our finances. And my health stuff was where we were growing apart, you guys, and we had this beautiful family. We love each other, but life kept lifing and it got hard. So even though I was skeptical about the business, secretly, I was desperate. We were desperate. We were looking for an opportunity. So please let that be a takeaway too. Maybe some of those people that are on the products or that you look at and you're like, they would kill the business, but they're not responding yet, or I can't get them to catch the vision. Keep going, keep being you, keep showing up. They will get it if they're supposed to get it. There's Christy Jexis probably on your team right now. They're just working on their health journey so they can have belief enough to share the products. Because some people share before they have a story. That was a no for me. I was like, I'm not saying a word about anything until it rocks my world, right? And even then, I'm not going to do the business. So that's my story. But financially, we were in mounds of debt, you guys, and it was really putting a burden on our marriage. Here's our fast forward 5 years later. Well, I'll tell you our journey. Within a year, we reached Emerald. 1 year. It was pretty fast. It was like crazy. But when I was senior gold is when I got my first person sharing. I didn't have anyone sharing until I was senior gold. How many of you can take a breath and go, oh, I thought I had to have like 10 shares right out the gates. You guys, I didn't have anyone. I felt like a crazy prophet on a corner. This is going to be big. We're going to make money and we're going to create healing and finances. And it's going to be so beautiful. And this women and culture and community. And I looked around and I was like, you guys in? Yep, we're in. Me, myself, and I. Until I was seeing your gold. So if you're sitting here going, I wish I could find people to share. I feel you. But here's the tip. You can't focus on that. You can't put your energy, your focus, your emotions on, I can't get people to do this with me. Guys, you cannot focus on that. You've got to focus on the right people are being drawn to me. I'm going to keep showing up and focus on what's within my control, right? And we're going to get into that in just a minute. But within a year, we were emerald. It was amazing. 18 months, we were sapphire. It was a fast and furious 18 months. Holy moly. Telling that story now, I'm like, it must have been. Wow. Right? And then we kind of hit a wall. I had my level 1 emerald and a level 1 ruby walk away, whoop, peace out, within like a week and a half of each other. That was a lot, right? And it was like in one sentence. It was a lot. My eye just started twitching thinking about it. Like, can you imagine, like, you work so hard and you have this vision and you're like, yay, the people are here, and worked so hard to train this person for a year. And then she just, we're done, bye, left for another company. And then my other level 1 was just like, I'm just done. And I had poured so much into them. Okay. The bottom line is everyone has obstacles. How many of you have had people who left Plexus or just quit on you? Anyone besides me? I really want you to know that that's part of the journey. It's not for just some people. Everyone has disappointments. Everybody has frustrations. Everyone feels like they get broken up with. Doesn't it feel like a breakup? You're like, wait, but weren't we in love? I thought we were in love. I thought things were going well. So please know that that's part of the journey. It's part of it. And you know what? It has truly helped me become the version of myself that could attract the next wave of leaders that helped us go from that point to where we are now. Those experiences helped to shape me into the leader and the version of me that would be able to sustain what we have now. I mean that with all of my heart. Within 3 years, you guys, we hit diamond for the first time. And then right after that is when my people stepped away. So I didn't re-rank diamond for another year. Me and Bree were talking a lot at this time, like, okay, how are you? What's going on? Oh, let's keep breathing, right? So I ranked the first time 3 years into my journey. And then it took me a whole year to build back up to rank diamond again. But then guess what? We ranked diamond May of 2020, and we went to re-entry like the next month. And then now we're like way beyond that. You guys, chills. The takeaway is you got to keep going. You got to keep focusing on what's within your control. You are being molded and crafted into the version of you that can sustain that beautiful dream that you have. All the things that you have, all the obstacles, all the good stuff, all the things that you feel like are holding you back, they're there for you to learn and grow and be molded into that beautiful version of you that can actually create and sustain the life that you dream about. Right, Bree? This is 100% part of the journey. Okay. So now here's our snapshot of our now. We are out of credit card debt. We have 0 debt. Oh my gosh. Praise the heavens. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I always am so grateful. God is so good. Right. And we've worked hard too. And we've had a team of people working with us. We are out of debt. We've been able to put a really beautiful down payment on a home that's kind of our dream home. We didn't know we ever even wanted, but here we are. And we are out of debt, and we get to drive my dream car, which is a Jeep. I love to adventure. I love to drive in the mountains. I love to have fun and crank my music really loud and a bass that just shakes my soul. And I drive that car every day, and it's my joy, and Plexus pays for it. It's so fun. Okay, so, let's just talk for a second. I feel like I've become the version of me, and I'm going to get emotional. I truly believe that we are on the earth to learn and grow. That's why we're here. Hi, Michelle's man. We're on the earth to learn and grow. That's why we're here. And I love this opportunity. Because not only do we get to change people's lives with the products and the business, but all these things that feel really, really hard in the moment and feel like we're stuck, they shape us, they mold us into the version of us that we were meant to be. I look at me 5 years ago, chills, and I think, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all the experiences, because my marriage has been able to heal so much because of this opportunity, and because of the things I've learned, and because of the blessings of the financial blessings of Plexus and the products. My husband's been able to quit what he was doing. And guys, he's going back to school. He's getting his master's degree in clinical mental health counseling to help people with addictions. Talk about like showing up in his purpose. And all of that is because of Plexus. This is so much bigger than supplements, you guys. I believe that we are here to remember we're humans. We're humans, right? That's what I call humans. We are here to excavate through all of the humanness and the thoughts and the things that come up and the obstacles, and learn and grow so that we can become and remember the divine, beautiful version of ourselves that we really are. There's nothing to become. It's my opinion. We are remembering who we really are. We are excavating the thoughts and the behaviors and the habits, and we're learning about ourselves, and we're taking one step with awareness and compassion. And I'm so grateful to feel like that has truly been my experience with this company and these products. Okay, I'm going to keep it. Do you guys have another like 10 or 15 minutes? I don't want to go too long, but I want to give you some applicable takeaways. Bree, is that good? Or do we need to be done? I know it's like, yes. Okay. I wanted to weave some takeaways in there, but I do have a couple of things I want to share.
People are hanging on every single word. Take all the time you need.
You're so cute. Thank you. I just feel like before you know where someone comes from, it's like, I don't really care what tips she has to share, like, right? But you guys know, like, there's nobody that gets anywhere awesome without going through the swamp. And I have a swamp talk that I could share later, but we'll do that another day. The road to success leads right through the swamp. So if you're in the swamp right now, woohoo, that means you're on your way to success. Stand up, look around, link elbows with other people who are in the swamp, and newsflash, we're all in the swamp. Link elbows and say, let's go, sister. Come on, stand up, stop doing swamp angels over there. Let's go. Right? Because everybody gets through, everybody that gets anywhere cool went through the swamp, or they're there right now, right? There's no back road. There's no shiny paved trail. It is the way. It's the way through it. So, okay, I want to talk to you about reaching out. Let's talk about that, because a lot of people talked about how that was something that was holding them back. I want you to ask yourself, what is the worst case scenario? A lot of times the reasons why we don't do things is because we've created this story in our brains. Our brains are so cute and they're so special, like they want to keep us safe, right? You know, that's your brain's job, is to keep you safe. Here's the problem, is our beautiful brains, they literally can't differentiate between a threat to our physical safety and a threat to our identity. Did you guys know that? So literally, your brain is going to respond in a similar way. I'm not saying 100%, but it's going to be similar if you step into oncoming traffic or you open up your messenger to send new messages. Because your brain's like, danger, 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 you might die. One of them is you might die from getting hit by a car. The other is you might die from an identity crisis. Someone's not pleased with you. What's that going to mean about you? You might die from that. That's literally what your brain thinks. Okay, so everyone take a breath. Take another one. I want you to ask your intuition, what's the worst thing that could happen from me sending a reach out message? What's the worst thing that could happen? Am I going to die? Right? Newsflash, you're not going to die from sending a message. You got to tell your brain. You got to get good at going, I love you, brain. Thank you so much. You are doing such a great job keeping me safe. But I know that you are afraid of this identity shift. The good news is I won't die from this. I'm going to change lives. Let's go. And you pick up your phone and you just freaking nail it, right? You got to get good at having these conversations with yourself. Compassion, always compassion. You got this awareness that you've got a fear. Okay, I'm a human. I'm a human. That's part of our human experience, right? You have fears, you have thoughts, you make mistakes, you have these weird emotions. We're here to experience it in this fleshy tabernacle we have. That's part of the human experience. But you've got to get good at coaching yourself. You've got to get good at saying, oh my gosh, how interesting. You observe your thoughts like they're just feedback, like they're just scientific evidence. Oh my gosh, my brain's trying to keep me safe right now. Thank you. The resistance is what makes it stay, right? Have you heard the terms like fear's a liar and like, I'm going to punch that mean girl in the face? I'm not on board with that. You know why? Because there's resistance there. You're resisting the fear. You're resisting that inner mean girl. No, it's your brain. We need that brain. And what we resist persists. So if you're resisting that fear of, I don't want to reach out because if someone's not pleased with me, then I literally am not going to feel worthy as a human. How many of you know that that's usually at the very bottom? If you were to dig all the way down, usually it comes down to worthiness. And us recovering people pleasers, anyone else? A recovering people pleaser? I had sweat tacos for 2 years when I started Plexus because I literally derived my worth from people being happy with me. I did hair. That was my job, is to make people happy. So I derived my worthiness as a human from making people happy. So can you imagine what my brain was doing when I was sending messages and having people not respond yet? Oh my gosh. My brain was like, alert, alert, you're going to die. You're going to die. And I was like, I'm going to die? Oh my gosh. I think I'm okay, but I feel like I'm going to die. Right? It's because your brain really thinks you might. Okay. So when you feel that come up, when you feel that fear, breathe into it. I'm feeling some fear. What is that fear trying to tell me? Okay, you might have an identity shift. And I'm telling you guys, even becoming a diamond is an identity shift. New levels, new devils. You're never going to fully get over this stuff. Like we're always, as long as here, everybody, we're going to do this for a sec because I feel like it really serves. Go like this. Everyone go like this with your hand. Okay. Now go like this, put it on your back. And then you're just going to slowly reach down until you feel a crack. Tiffany, do it. She's like, what are you doing? Did you feel a crack? Who felt a crack? I have a crack. Do you have a butt crack? I do too. Bree has a butt crack. Tarla and Alec, they have butt cracks. Guess what? Like Oprah, she has a butt crack too. It's because we're all humans. We are all humans. And we're here in this fleshy tabernacle having a human experience, right? So you just got to laugh it off sometimes when your brain's like, you're going to die, you're going to die, you're going to die. You're like, oh my gosh, you're so cute. I hear you. I hear you. Thank you for sharing. I know you think I'm going to die, but I'm here to experience these feels. Interesting. But what I know is that I am changing lives. And my truth is, you can ask yourself, write this down and circle it when that fear comes up or when those anxiety, the sweat tacos come up, you can ask yourself, what is truth? Circle that shiz. Put a star by it. What is truth? Well, the truth is the products that you have change lives for the people that are ready for it. Some people aren't ready to heal. Being a victim to their health problems works for them. And with compassion, we don't judge people for that. But it's not your job to judge. It's your job to cast your net far and wide. It's your job to reach out to as many people as you can and say, what I have is a blessing. What I have has changed my life. I would be a selfish jerk if I didn't share what I have with you. Of course, I'm going to reach out. Of course, I'm going to follow up because I'm going to show up and I'm going to show up for you. If this is your timing, don't be afraid to say, listen, this might not be your thing. And if it isn't, I love you anyway. But that doesn't change that you have a straight spine, you have a full heart, and you show up ready to share what you have. Okay. So what are you going to do next time when you're like, okay, it's time for me to do that thing that I really put off called reaching out? I'm going to I got to go to Target. I mean, I got errands to run. We're so good at coming up with excuses and ways to avoid, aren't we? We're so cute. I want you each to commit. Every one of you that said reaching out is hard for you, or it's like your big obstacle, I want you to commit to just do just one. Every day you just do one. If you're locked up and you're like, can't do it at all, right? Just one a day. It's all about building on small wins. Because the action is what will start to cure the fear. You take action and then you don't die and your brain's like, oh, maybe that's okay, right? So you've got to train your brain in this new way of being for you. You've got to show your brain that it's okay for you to take action, even though you feel some fear. Okay, who's committed to that? At least one reach out a day. One. I want to see your hands. And I want you to hold yourself accountable. I know you're scared. Reach around. You got a butt crack? Me too. You're going to feel fear. It's okay. Take action. Action is what will cure the fear, and it will help you learn and teach your brain that you're not going to die from feeling fear. You're not going to die from a new identity, right? A new identity, just one day at a time. Okay. When I first started Plexus and I caught the vision, after I went to an event, I came home and I was on fire. I was like, oh, baby, this is big. And I'm going to cast my net far and wide. I'm going to show up for the people who are ready for this, and we're going to do it. I sent like 300 messages out, and I'll send a sample of what it was. I think I even have the message. If you'd like to see, it was just very heartfelt. Like, hey, my friend, I don't know if this is your thing or not. I love you either way, but I truly have experienced life-changing results from these products. And I would be selfish if I didn't share this with you. Have you ever thought about learning about what I do or the products that I've used? Have you ever thought about it, right? That was the nature. And I sent like 300 messages. Of course, I tweaked it a little bit so that it was personal and all of that. I sent a message to someone named Sammy Stewart in 2016 when I first started. She ghosted me for 4 years. I didn't even know. I moved 4 hours south of where I used to live, and I moved into this neighborhood where Sammy Stewart lives, where I live now. We hung out. She told me straight up before I moved here, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'll never do Plexus, so don't ever talk to me about it. I was like, noted. Wow. I thought we were just going to be friends, but okay. So I said, okay, I'll never talk to her about it, right? That's fine. Well, she has RA and she struggles a lot with her health. She was struggling, but I just sat there and just, let's talk about dance. Let's talk about school. Let's talk about church. Let's talk about everything but Plexus. I'm here for it. Let's hang out. Let's go to parties. We did all the things for like 3 months and I never said a word. Well, one day she was like, so why do you even take it? Like, you don't really take it, do you? And I was like, well, I'm on the 1/3 the dose of my thyroid medication. I've lost and maintained 65 pounds at the time. Now it's 75. And I'm off my antidepressant and I feel freaking fantastic. So heck yes, I take the products. She was like, oh, and you drive a Lexus? Because I had a Lexus at the time. So do you actually do the business? I was like, yeah. It's our full-time income and has been for years. Like, yes. And she was like, okay, well, I think I want the products. Long story short, she's knocking on the door of Sapphire in a year, just over a year. So can we just let go of ghosting? Guys, keep showing up. Keep sharing your health journey. Keep committed to your health journey. If you find yourself stuck, it's time to take an honest look with some compassion and say, why is my health stalling? Do I have some thoughts? Do I need to get a coach? Do I need a therapist? I have a trauma recovery therapist that I work with. I have a coach. I have a functional medicine doctor. I'm committed to my health journey. And yes, Plexus is amazing, but there's more to the puzzle, guys. You got to keep leveling up your health game. You got to keep showing up and share that stuff vulnerably. I've done some lives that made me I have sweat tacos to my freaking waist from doing lives on my social media about my journey. I'm like, oh, this is vulnerable. But guys, share vulnerably, because guess what? We're in a connection business. Did you know that? And the only thing that creates connection is vulnerability. You got to be real and genuine. Share. People are watching you, but they want to see you. They don't want to see the cute glossy. They want to see the real raw you. Sweat tacos and go, right? Something that makes you nervous? Yay, that means you're growing. Step into it. Let's go. I watch for a post this week about this. Sweat tacos. I'm so excited to share. So let's reframe it. They just haven't responded yet. Sammy Stewart took 4 years to respond. Am I so grateful that I was like, cool, I love you anyway. Let's just go. I didn't even know I sent her a message. I didn't even know. So I was like, I'm casting my net and I'm moving along, right? Cast your net and you move along and focus on what's going right. Okay. I have things I so much more I could share, but I'm going to boil it down. What we focus on expands. Did you guys know that? I know it sounds like, Christy, that's not your idea. It's just like, duh. But really though, this is what I want to leave you with. FTTF CIA. FTTF CIA. This is a self-coaching tool that will rock your world if you practice it. FTTF CIA. If somebody can come up with something really cute and jingly, I will give you $50. I don't know what it is, but it's FTTF CIA. You want to know what it stands for? Okay, your focus. You guys, your focus is so powerful. We are magnets. We are always attracting. It's about owning what we are attracting and being intentional about it. So the first F is focus. Your focus is, these are the next letters, what you talk about, what you think about, what you feel about. FTTF. At any given moment, you are attracting something with your focus. What are you talking about? If you want to look for clues and be like, oh, I wonder what I'm attracting right now. It's found in what you're talking about, what you're thinking about, and what you're feeling about. If you need to jot down notes and be like, what am I talking, feeling, and thinking about? That's what you're attracting more of. It's simple. It's the law of attraction. It's manifestation. It's just a law of the universe. It doesn't care if you believe in it or not. It's kind of like gravity. If I say, I don't believe my phone's going to drop, it's still going to drop. This is a law. So what you focus on expands. FTTF, your focus is what you talk about, think about, feel about. Now, another little thing with your focus, am I focusing on the past, the present, or the future? And then am I focusing on what I have or what I lack? Okay. If you need to write these things out, again, this is about self-coaching. It will feel weird at first, but when you get good at this, you will literally be able to stop when you're feeling some weird feels and you'll take some deep breaths. Where's my focus? Interesting. What am I talking about, thinking about, feeling about? Am I focusing on the past, the present, or the future? Am I focusing on what I have or what I lack? Boom, 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 boom. Oh, it's no wonder I'm having these weird feels. It's no wonder I feel stuck. I'm focusing on the past. I'm focusing on what I lack. And I'm talking about drama. I'm thinking about people ghosting me. And I'm feeling about how lonely I am because I'm getting ghosted. Why would I feel excited about my business? Look where my focus is. Is it any wonder that that's what I'm getting more of? Because what I focus on expands. Are you with me? And all of this comes with a big, juicy, cozy blanket of compassion. You guys, the second you have awareness, you go, boom, compassion, boom, bring it in. I'm a human, reach around. Yep, I'm a human. So this is part of my journey. I'm excavating human, come and see that beautiful version. FTTF C, FTTF C, what do you think
I know, Ange, I was just going to say the same thing. Not today, Satan. We'll give it a second, see if she comes back. She lives in Utah and could have gotten kicked off too because she's out in the middle. Are y'all loving this? I want you to drop it. Hopefully we'll wait a second. Yeah, no, Ashley, for once tonight, it's not you or me. I am loving, I mean, I knew you guys would love her, but I want you to drop it in our team chat, your takeaways from her in case she cannot get back on. And I will find out what the CIA part is because I haven't heard her talk about this either. And we'll see if we can get it back out. But if you can put it in our team chat, in the March Momentum chat, your takeaways from this, because I want to be able to screenshot it over to her. And I know that some of
Hi, I'm back.
Oh, yay. Okay. They're
I had
all
to
like,
come
what
down.
does CIA mean?
You are so cute. Okay, so you guys, C is compassion. Whenever you have awareness about, oh my gosh, that's not working. My focus is not where I want it to be. I'm creating more of what I don't want. Instead of getting out your beat up stick and being like, see, I'm bad, sick, and wrong. Like, don't do that. Compassion. Give yourself massive compassion. Because remember, you are a human. That's part of your experience. Compassion, compassion. Here's the word. Of course. And I want you to circle it. Of course, that's where my focus is. I've faced some stuff that was kind of uncomfortable. Of course, I'd be focusing on that. Give your brain a little pat. Thank you, thank you, thank you for making me safe. Right? And then you move forward. The I is intentional. Okay? It's not about good vibes only. I do not agree with that. That's not realistic. We are humans. There's going to be days that are amazing, and then there's going to be days that are not amazing. That's part of being a human, right? So it's not about good vibes only. It's about being intentional. If you are feeling grief, of course you should be feeling grief, right? It's okay. Just be intentional with that. And then if you want to have a really awesome day and you want to create something amazing, you know how to do that. FTTF, focus on what's going right, focus on your wins, even if they're tiny. Talk about, think about, feel about the things that you want to create more of, right? And then you have compassion for yourself, you get intentional, and the A is action. Even the tiniest little bit of action is going to help you to move forward with this process of creating and shifting out of being stuck. Okay. So action, that can even just be something as small as this process can take place in 1 minute. When you get good at it, at first, it's going to feel like a toddler trying to walk. You know how they look with their arms out and their legs are all like bow-legged and they just like fall and smack their face over and over. You're going to feel like that when you start to practice this. But after you practice it, you're going to get dang good at it to where you're like, interesting, huh? Go through the things and you figure out that's why I'm experiencing these results. It's okay. I have control over this. I have 100% control over FTTF CIA. Every one of you has control over it. Isn't that so awesome? So then you take the smallest little bit of action. This process can take place in 1 minute once you get good at it. It's self-coaching, owning your choice, right? And being accountable for your results with compassion so that you can create what you want to create. Okay, that's all. I so appreciate you guys listening. I had a ton more I wanted to share, but here we are. I hope this served you, and I just love every dang one of you with kisses on the forehead.
I cannot wait to see you next month and just hug your neck. This was so, so, so good. And lifelong learners, right? Like I have so many takeaways from tonight, and I know that our team does too. And I was just telling them when you froze a little bit, because I know that they have so many things. If y'all will go to our March Momentum chat and just drop your comments in there as soon as we get off so I can screenshot them over and give them to Christy, because the thing, and you know that I say this on every single call that we do, but she does not have to show up for us. She did not have to do this call. It's time away from her team, her family. I mean, she's on the West Coast. This is still prime time living for them. And so if you guys will just hop over to that chat and let them know. But Christy, I love you. I cannot wait to see you, and you deserve every single good thing that is coming for you. And I love seeing the growth because, man, you put in the work and you deserve every single second of it. So if y'all will hop over there and blow up the team chat so I can screenshot it over to her and let her know what your top takeaways. I love you guys. Happy Monday.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Thank you.